go, back with another episode of the Strong Mentality Podcast. Strong Mentality is in the building today. Got a special guest stopping by today, my man Wood. Hey,
How
Wood.
y'all doing? How you doing?
Thanks for being here, bro.
Yes, sir. You know it.
I appreciate you, man.
You know it.
Appreciate you taking time out of your day, man, to stop by the podcast and drop some jewels on another brother.
All right.
Whatever you can do, man. And this is easy for us because we chop it up all the time, man. So this is real easy for us to talk about whatever we talk about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, thanks for being here, man.
No problem.
And I say Wood, man. I know you go by so many different names, bro. What do you like people to call you? What do you want to go by?
I love that, man. Just acknowledge me, man. Tim Wood, Sherwood, it don't matter, man.
Okay. I like that. Tim, Sherwood, Wood.
It don't matter.
So no. So after the podcast, you might be famous. You know what I'm saying? You might have to tell them what you want to go by.
All right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But nah, man, I definitely appreciate you being here, man. Hey, Wood, how would you describe your childhood, man?
Man, I would say, man, I had a protected childhood, man. I didn't see a lot. My grandma kept me sheltered from a lot of things that I could have potentially seen.
Gotcha.
So I'm thankful for that, man. I'm grateful for that. I didn't see a lot when I was a kid. So,
okay, protected. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man. I never heard a brother say that before, man. Protected. That's great, man. So you grew up with your grandmother?
Yeah, majority of the time. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mother and father in your life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that, man. I always say, man, thank God for grandmamas because if it weren't for grandmamas, man, a lot of people don't know where they'll be at today.
Well, I know where I'll be at. I won't be sitting right here. I can tell you that much. So, yeah.
Grandmama kept you protected, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so Will, let me ask you this, man.
Sir.
Growing up with your grandmother, and your mother and your father being in your life, but growing up majority of the time with your grandmother, how do you think that helped shape your decision making, like as an adult?
Because my grandmother was old. So me being a kid and she was older, and like I say, that protection, I didn't experience a lot of things. So a lot of stuff came late. So I felt like I really didn't miss it.
Gotcha.
I didn't miss it,
because of her protection.
Yeah. So I didn't miss it. You don't miss what you never had.
That's right.
So
that's right. That's right. Yeah. I like that, man. Yeah. No, that definitely make a lot of sense, man. Yeah. And then, people say, that boy got an old soul. People say that.
I've been told that a lot. But it bothered me when I was younger. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, and I was like, you know what? I'll receive that.
That's a badge of honor.
I'll take that.
No. So it's kind of like, when people say you got an old soul, that means like you make good decisions.
Yeah.
You take your time with stuff. You don't act out like young people act out, for lack of better words. But yeah, man. So that's kind of a badge of honor. It's like a compliment when people say that to you.
Yeah.
Sure enough, man. Hey, Wood, do you see any similarities, man, in the way that your grandmother raised you to the way that you raised your children?
Yeah, I want to say patience.
Whoa.
Patience, and letting them figure out, because my grandmother and I, we talked, and my grandmother never went to sleep before I got in the house.
Okay.
She never went to sleep before I came in that house. Mm-hmm. So, I always remember, when I go home, she gonna be up. Mm-hmm. So I had to come in with a good head on my shoulders when I came in.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm gonna have to in, to this old lady when I come in.
That's right. Had to respect that.
So the patience, man, and the way I deal with my kids now, it's an open book.
Okay.
I don't hide nothing from them. If they call me and they ask something that they dealing with that they heard from somebody else, you can call me. I'm open book now, man.
There you go.
I'm open book now.
There you go. I like that, man. And your kids are all adults now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And them adult kids, man, is like, it's such a relief off your shoulder when you can be real with them.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, because you know
100%.
you try to like you say, you know, grandmama sheltered you, right? So some things you try to save them from when they're kids. Like, you know, they ain't ready to have that conversation, or they
Right.
not ready for this or that.
Yeah.
But when they become adults, man, it's like, hey, let's talk about it, bro.
Yeah, you know, just like that the Proverbs of the you know the Bible. I'm gonna give you the do's and don'ts. I'm gonna tell you, you can go ahead and do that, but here's what happen when you do that.
That's right.
You know, here's what's gonna happen when you do that.
So,
You
like
know,
you say, do's and don'ts,
yeah.
and the consequences
Yeah.
of the do's and don'ts, for sure, man. I like that, bro. And that's a great way to raise your children, man. And I'm sure as having adult kids, they appreciate you being real with them. Like, okay, I'm an open book. Let's talk about it. Whatever you want to know.
You know, the thing sometimes that when you real, excuse me, like I know that they don't share what they want to share with me sometimes because they already know the response they're gonna get.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're not gonna tell me everything at that particular time because they already know the response. Wow. So they'll break their segment up and give it to me in pieces. I guess
like
that's
that.
their way of telling me easy. So you know the harsh won't come out immediately.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, so they'll break it up. You know, and I understand why they do it. You know, like my oldest son, he said, "Dad, you know you nicer with the grandkids than you were us." I say, straight facts. I say, your mom and I, man, we were young, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we was kids.
That's right.
You know, man, we doing this family thing, this you know, mother and father thing. We were young.
Young, man.
You know, so you know, I mean, you know, I look at my grandkids now. That's a second shot.
For sure.
That's a second shot.
And you handling them now with a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You was afraid of what the world was gonna do to the kids and what you was gonna do to you. And like you said, being young, as a man, I always felt like this, Wood. Like I gotta carve our way in life. Whatever road we going, I gotta constantly carve that for us. For me, my wife, and my children when the children was growing up. You know. Now I'm relaxed. I ain't got to carve in that now. You know, like, hey.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. You got to constantly keep laying the blacktop.
Yes, you do. You do.
You know, you got to constantly keep laying the blacktop. You know, the walk on.
Yeah, I like that, man. I definitely agree with you on that too, man. Hey, Wood, which role do you believe came easier to you, man? Being a father or being a husband?
I'm gonna definitely say being a father, man, because
That was easier?
Yeah, because it's a different type love, man.
Ooh.
It's
Talk
a different,
to me, bro.
It's a different type love, you know, and not taking away the love for my wife or my kid's mother, nothing like that. It's just a different love, man, because when I seen my kids come in the world and they was babies, I die for them, man.
Yes, yes.
I die for them, you know. So it was a different type love, you know. It was like an unbreakable love. I mean, my kids, they can say anything to me, right? They can say anything to me. But when they leave, you know what I'm gonna do? All right, I'll see y'all later. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Slate clean again.
That's right, clean again.
You know, slate clean again.
And other people don't get that kind of grace in your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Facts.
There's a such thing as other people. You done said too much. You done went too far.
Yeah.
You know, all of that. Well, with your kids, man, is
because I see some parents, they don't want to do the self-check, you know, and that's one thing I do a lot. It's a self-check, you know. I go in there, look in that mirror and say, you know what? They ain't the problem. I was the problem.
Yeah. Self-evaluation.
Yes, sir. It's self-check. You know.
I like that, bro.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that too, man.
Yeah.
I do a lot of that, man.
It's important, man.
Yeah.
It's important.
Because you got to know, you got to constantly know as a man, like, where you been at and where you're going. You know, those are two things that I believe that come with staying focused in life.
Correct.
Know? And when you got to self-examinate, like, okay, where was I at in that moment? You know, did I make the right decision? Did I make the wrong decision? Did I have the right attitude? Did I have the wrong attitude? You know, and that helps you create the man that you are today.
Yeah.
You know, that you're trying to be. You know, moving forward, man. So outside of that, you know, as men, man, they say, you know, we're natural providers, right? Protectors and providers. which one of those roles come easy to you, the protecting or the providing?
I think it's I mean, because like I say, I looked at my grandfather, and he was just a no nonsense guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't want. He had everything there. You know, even down to ice cream. He didn't go to the store and get ice cream. He made it. You know,
Yeah.
it was just, he was a no nonsense dude. He was a big dude, and you know, people didn't play with him. So you develop that, you know, because we're sponges when you're kids, we're sponges.
Soaking it up.
Yeah. So I say, you know what? I see that. I see how he walk in a room, and he just command the room. Mm-hmm. You know, I say, you know what? He ain't did nothing. How he had this much power?
Yeah.
You know, so I would say I'm equally balanced in that one, man, because I'm gonna protect. Mm-hmm. You know, if it caused me to get hurt in the process.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and providing, that's what we built for. You know.
I know, man.
That's what we built for.
So many brothers say that, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel the same way, man. Like, and we provide so much, bro. Mm-hmm. You know, like not just the dollars and cents, right? And not just your paycheck, but you provide so much infrastructure to your family. You know, you're constantly providing all the time, right? And mentally, bro, I don't know where I would be at if I couldn't provide, because I feel like that's part of who I am.
It is. As a man, because you could take a man who's wealthy. Mm-hmm. If he don't have a wife, a girlfriend, or children, he's still gonna be a broken man.
Yes.
He's still gonna be a broken man because there's no purpose.
Yeah, and nobody to provide for.
You know, a man has a purpose. That's why we get up.
You better believe it.
Go to work. That's why we work hard. That's why we protect. That's why we do what we do, because that purpose.
Yes.
You know, that purpose. You know.
Man, you so right, bro. And I think about that all the time, man. Bro, I was in a play one time. Me and my wife was in a play, and the role I was playing in the play was a brother that had a hard time taking orders from people, and I had got laid off. You know, so I didn't have any income coming in, and I was just kind of like a bitter guy, you know. Bro, I had a hard time playing that role, man. When they say, man, you know, you laid off, you don't have no money, you don't, you know, I'm like, man, I don't know if this role good for me.
Right.
That'd be playing with my mental, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that providing thing is definitely crazy. And a lot of brothers say protecting and providing go hand in hand, you know.
Yeah, that's why I say I think I'm equally balanced on that one, you know.
Okay.
Because I think one of them kind of like helps the other. You know, as far as from my perspective as a man,
that's right.
It kind of balances out, you know.
For sure, man. For sure. Hey, Wood, man, how do you find, speaking of balance, man, how do you find balance in your day-to-day life, man? Like, you know, just finding you some peace when it comes to time for yourself, you know, time for your spiritual growth, time for your family, time for your wife and kids. Like, how do you find the balance in that?
So it's funny because we on a podcast. I watch a lot of podcasts, and I watch a lot of Black civil podcasts.
Okay.
So I heard Miss Rashad, you know, the Bill Huxtable wife, Claire Huxtable in the show.
Felicia Rashad.
That's right, Felicia Rashad. So I heard her say on a podcast one time, and you know, with me, everything is confirmation. When I think it, I read it in the Bible or something, and then I hear from different people, and it comes to me, and I receive. I say, "Got you. I got you.
I understand it.
You know,
yeah.
I received the message, Lord. I got it." So she said on a podcast, we have to lighten our load, and you know how the old saying is, the Lord ain't gonna put nothing on your shoulders that you can't bear.
That's right.
But we will. As men and humans and fathers and husbands.
We'll start picking up stuff.
We will.
Carrying it.
So when she said that, I dove into that.
Okay.
Lighten your load. Don't put too much weight on your shoulders that's not your weight.
Yeah.
Stay in your weight class. So with that right there, I started jotting down stuff. So when it's out of my weight class, I won't put it on my shoulders.
Man.
And that relieves a lot of stress.
Yes.
You know, because, you know, they always say, you know, why the black man suffer with high blood pressure all the time? So you got to dive into stuff, man. You know, we suffer with that because we're always trying to fix everything.
Trying to fixers. That's what we are, bro.
Yeah, we trying to fix this and fix that and do this for this person and that and we get emotionally drained.
We do, bro.
We get emotionally drained.
Which leads to stress.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know.
And that stress thing is, bro, that's so big, man. And I just want to stay right there for a minute, bro. You know what I'm saying? While we was talking about that, about your load, because a lot of times you pick up a load, you pick up other people's load. You carry around other people's load, right? And you don't have to, right? So I call that unnecessary stress. Right? But then, like you said, recognizing what's your load and what's not your load, you know, that's a big one right there. Just for brothers to recognize, hey, no, I'm not carrying that one around, bro. You know, or this one weighing on my heart. Let me carry this one around. You know, that's.
I mean, it's a thing, man. We always got to be conscious on what we take in and what we give back out. We always have to be conscious, man.
Absolutely.
Because I was talking with my sister the other day, and she mentioned we can't get so involved in something else where it tears us down. Then we're no good to nobody.
Whew. Good God Almighty, bro.
People. The attention thing is so deep with people. I want all your attention.
Yes.
But at the same time, when you tear that person down and he or she is in the hospital and you got to go there every day, you're going to be like, I shouldn't have did that.
I shouldn't have did that.
I shouldn't have did that.
I was throwing more weight on them than they can handle.
Yeah, you know, and because, you know, people don't think, man, stress causes a lot of functions to go bad in your body.
Yes, it do, bro.
You know, people gain weight, lose weight, you know, drive off the bridge, you know, drink a bottle of alcohol.
Stuff, bro. Yes, sir.
A whole bunch of stuff, man, you know.
Drugging.
That sometimes it could be avoided just by taking that 5-pound weight off. Boop, drop that.
Just like that, bro.
Drop that one.
Good God Almighty, man.
You know.
Bro, you said a mouthful there, bro. Oh, my God. And I bet you so many more brothers, men would live longer. Like you said, their body functions would function a little longer if they knew how to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
and man, the big old P word, that pride, man. You know, sometimes we just gotta downplay that word a little bit, man. You know, I got a pride. I ain't doing that, man. No, I ain't doing that. But you're gonna be in the graveyard in a little while. With that pride, ain't nobody gonna care.
Pride around with you.
You know.
And it don't even matter at the end of the day.
Yeah,
man.
so you know, I mean, it's all right if people have, you know, a little pride. You know, you got to have a little pride, you know, but that pride where you can't receive no good information, you can't receive nobody telling you, hey man, I wouldn't do that if I was you. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
For sure. I understand, man. Hey, Wood, let me ask you this, bro. Now, where did you learn that at, man? Because that, you know, that ain't in a textbook. That, you know, that, hey, when you said take that 5-pound weight off, bro, that was a gem right there.
I used to get in trouble, man. Every grade that I ever been in, I was kicked out of school. Every grade, from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, because the teachers said they couldn't teach me. I was this, I was that, you know, I had something wrong with me. But I always felt like, if you're gonna tell me something, tell me why you telling me that.
Okay.
You know, if I'm gonna tell you, man, you know, it's gonna rain tomorrow, how you know that?
Yeah.
Tell me how you know that.
Give me something to back that up.
Give me what you know to say that to me, so I can know how you got there.
Okay.
You know, and they thought I was being, you know, disrupting and all that, but you know, if I can't know what you trying to tell me? What good is you telling me?
That's right. That's right, bro.
You know, I wasn't trying to be defiant anything, but I guess my brain was always moving.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, why are you telling me that?
That was probably part of your old soul, bro.
It may have been.
Like,
it may have been.
Make it make sense to me.
You know, and you know, teachers used to tell me, sure, you sure not like your sisters. I say, I don't have to be.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
I
like that.
don't have to be.
Yeah.
You know it. And my mom, you know, she couldn't understand it, but I told my mother this. I said, you know, the best thing that they did do for me is let my grandmother have me.
Okay.
You know, and I'm gonna say that to get to this, because if my mom and dad didn't let me stay with my grandmother and grandfather, I would rebel to no end.
Okay.
I would rebel because my grandma gave me enough cushion to be like, I ain't gonna set this rule, because you know when you set a rule, the next thing in your brain, I'm gonna break that rule.
That's right.
So when she gave me that rope, I said, okay, I'm going there and I'm gonna come back. I'm going to the end and I'm gonna come back. With my mom and dad, it was different because my mom, I think she was trying to raise me like she was raising my sisters.
Gotcha.
And if I would have stayed there, it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
You know, because I got to get out the house.
And man,
it wasn't gonna work.
And it's crazy that you realize that, man. And you probably didn't know that as a kid.
Correct.
But as an adult, when you start processing that stuff as a man, you say, man, I'm glad.
Yeah.
But that's crazy that you said that, man. You say, man, you know, the best thing they could have did for me was
and I
let
told
my
my mom
grandmother
that.
have me.
I told her, you know, and she always tried to explain to me, you know, why she did. I said, you know what? That don't matter.
Yeah. You ain't got to explain
that
to
don't
me.
matter.
It's
that
the best decision that you made to me.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you
Wow.
know, but you know, you have your ups and downs on everything, you know.
You better believe it, man. Everything comes with some pros and some cons, man. Sure enough, man. Hey, Wood, as you grow in life, man, like, you know, financially, spiritually, you know, do you have a problem with people not going where you going? You know, like people that you're close to, family members, friends. You're evolving into a whole different person, and they're not. They're still the same person. So y'all not on the same page no more. Do you struggle with that?
Well, that only way I can explain that is this here, right? I can leave somebody and still do for them.
Okay. Like from a distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because what I mean by that is, I can't expect people that I know to always match my energy. So I'm not gonna just cut you off. You know, if you need somebody, okay, I can do what I can do.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't expect everybody to meet your energy, and you know that old saying, you can't take everybody with you, right?
That's right.
But I do believe that we when we're blessed, you know, with anything, you know, having a good job, good home and all that, we have to get something back. I believe that wholeheartedly, because, I mean, not taking away from what you have or whatever, but I think we have to get something back. You know, when God gives us something, bless us with something, we have to give back to show people that he done it for me, he can do it for you.
Absolutely.
You know, he done it for me, he can do it for you.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. And that's all part of giving back, you know.
Yeah.
God blesses you with and whatever. And I'm not just talking about finances, right?
Yeah,
I'm talking about even the ability to do things.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
I know
because that's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing, man.
A gift is a gift.
Yeah. As a man, God has blessed me in so many different ways, man, with the ability to know how to do things, right? And I might not be an expert at it, but I got a lot of general knowledge about it, right? So, you know, I know how to do it, or I know how it's supposed to be done. And man, I don't mind giving that to people.
Right.
I give it to you in a heartbeat because God gave it to me.
Absolutely. I mean, because if you hold it and you don't give where it's needed, then you're selfish.
Yes, you are.
Bottom line.
Yes, you are.
You know, if you got information and it can be beneficial to somebody, and you don't give it you're kind of selfish.
Yes, you are.
You know, so
no. And you know, I feel like that's kind of like holding up God's blessings. You
correct.
know, God put you in a position to bless somebody else, and you not gonna bless them. You holding up their blessing, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know? So yeah, but yeah, man, with that separation thing, knowing that, see, that's a great point. What you said, like I can be distanced and still love somebody, and I don't have to be around them every day in order to do for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, that's huge, man, because a lot of times, you know, especially in today's society, right? You know, people pride themselves in, hey, man, I'm gonna cut them off. I'm done with them. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't pride myself in that. It's actually tough for me when I gotta say I gotta cut somebody off. It's tough for me because, man, me and you been knowing each other for 40 years, man. You know what I'm saying?
Been that long?
Yeah, you know, just think that, bruh. You know, just think about how many people I know so many people that's still around me from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's
well,
amazing.
we had a tight community though.
Yeah, we grew up in a tight community.
Yeah.
And we grew up in a different society.
Yeah.
The society now says, if you don't like what somebody say, cut them off. You don't like what somebody do, cut them off.
I think that's part of it, right? I think that's part of it, man. You don't see nobody cooking for nobody no more.
That's right.
You know, you don't see, somebody running over somebody's house getting some Kool-Aid or some sugar or something. You don't see it no more, man, because and I hate to use this word, but everybody done got kind of snobby.
Yes.
They got kind of snobby,
everybody bougie.
They uppity.
Themselves.
You know, so I try to stay away from that, right? That's why I say I can always help from afar. You know, and the thing is, man, the more I dive into the word and get my soul right, it is the heart, man. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, if your heart ain't right, you got a problem.
That's right.
I'm not talking about if it's ticking off beat. I'm talking about the selfishness.
That's right.
If that ain't right, you got a problem, man.
That's right, man.
A problem.
And you know, it's crazy that you say that, man. Thinking that, you know, our heart was already right from the community that we grew up in, our upbringing with our grandparents and our parents and stuff. Because just think about this, man. You gave me my first job, right?
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm maybe like 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
You called me. You say, hey, man, you know, we had no cell phones in that then. You called my mom's house.
Yeah.
You say, hey, man, you want a job? I say, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You say, we'll be up here this evening at 3 o'clock.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and those things like that, man, people that help you, hey, man, you reached back and helped so many people in that community. Just think how many other brothers you did the same thing to.
Yeah.
You say, hey, man, you want a job?
So I'm gonna tell you about that, man, because I used to tell my teachers in school, you know, when they used to think that whatever they thought about me, you know, I had this problem, I had that problem. I always said all I needed was opportunity.
That's all you need, man.
All I needed was opportunity.
God almighty, bro.
I don't have to tell you no more once you give me an opportunity. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I got that opportunity, and them people where we was working at, they gave me the okay to do what I wanted to do in there.
For sure.
I said, you know what? I'm going to hire everybody in the hood.
That's right.
And that's exactly what I done.
And you hired us too.
Everybody in the hood wanted the job. Come on, man.
Come up here, man.
Come on.
Be up here at 3 o'clock.
We working. We gonna run the show.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we done.
And I remember, man. But that speaks to your heart, bro. That speaks to your heart, and that speaks to your decision making. Because you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that, but you did. You know, and that was something in your heart that told you to do that. Say, man, let me see if this brother need a job, man. So no, I definitely, and I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, man. Not only did you give us our first job, but the continued guidance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I remember so many times, man, you dropped so many gems on me. I said, good God almighty. All right, okay, that's what I need to do.
Because they was being, you know, that's one thing I always say, man, when I talk to the younger guys at my church, I always say, man, where the disconnect have came in at, there's no teachers no more in the communities.
Yes.
Because the way we grew up, we had guidelines. The older guys will never let us get out of line, but so far. You know, we won't gonna disrespect no old people. we won't gonna go around and go on somebody's car that won't ours.
Yes.
Cause you got on the line. I ain't got time to be messing with her son, cause he gonna get me if I mess with her.
That's right.
So it was some guidelines there, and I think now the guidelines are not there. That's why these youngsters, man, they feel like they can do anything.
Lack of guidance, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Lack of guidance is real, man. And I feel like, us growing up, man, just in our era, period, not just our community, but so many other communities was designed the same way. It was that era. That's the way the older people thought, you know. Older guys that grew up before us, so many things, man. That was their
We
their
policed
mindset.
our own.
Yeah, we policed our own.
Policed our
self.
own.
Yeah.
And it worked then. It worked then,